Good morning, everyone. Morning, Andre.
What's up?
Morning, Steve. How you doing? Took 2 IBs last night, Asia and Globex.
Dude, dual IBs yesterday for you?
I did. Both of
That's
them won.
hilarious. That's beautiful.
And then I woke up this morning and saw it drop another 400 points.
And you're pissed.
And I said, what would Andre do?
Oh, the shorts, man. I think I need to start to look into Globex.
It's very reliable.
Yeah. I've never looked into it because like by the time the trades are setting up, like I'm like either eating dinner or like working or whatever. And like if I'm trading, I want to be trading. If I'm working, I want to be working. But like the moves are just crazy overnight, especially recently. So
I think the moves have been better, honestly.
Overnight, Globex.
Yep. Overnight, Asia and Globex have been a lot smoother.
Yeah.
What's going on, Pavan?
Yeah, I chased a ridiculous trade yesterday, which I would like never normally do. Hold on one sec, I'll be right back.
Yep. We got a really good continuation down overnight. Unfortunately, I do not expect us to have any further continuation with this. I think that it's pretty much done where it is right now. For the stats going into open, with our gap fill by size, it's well over 1.5%. We've only had 3 gaps of this size. One of them is filled, 2 of them have not. So it's on the stats, it's a 1 in 3. But if we go over to the two-year time frame, so we have plenty of data to refer to, it's a 13% chance. 23 gaps, 3 of them have filled. Very unlikely that we fill this gap up today.
In these markets, who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
If we just get another grind of 400 points or whatever,
we could just go up forever. Yeah. And ever and ever and ever and ever.
I mean, it's kind of like what's happened. If you look back far enough, it's just.
Yeah.
But no, I don't want to come into the day with a bias. Trying not to, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at this overnight move is pretty meaningful. Like if you look at the gap, like 500 points for NQ is like definitely meaningful.
Yep.
Let's actually look. What's percentage is that? Yeah, 1.7% gap down. I mean, that's legit. That's like, it's not like 0.5. It's not 0.7. It's like a real move. So something to obviously be aware of that perhaps today might be one of those days that either, I mean, I was going to say either chops or goes up or down. But like,
yeah, especially for a Friday too. Fridays, we have been getting kind of hosed on the movement.
Yeah.
Especially last Friday. We had a continuation up all day when we had no move pre-market.
Yep.
Friday before that, we had a pretty nasty opening move and then nothing for the day.
Yeah.
We had those 2 opening candles. That was it. Ivy didn't break until 11:45. It was a really nice 50% entry, though.
Yeah. But even then, like, one of the things that I try to look at is, like, yes, that range is probably very big.
Mm-hmm.
But that range was made up in the first 30 minutes and then didn't expand at all beyond that.
Yep.
Like, how does the range expand throughout the day is something to look at. Like, at least for me, in this case, like you're looking at a day that was technically probably a great, like in terms of ATR, probably on the high end. but realistically, like it really wasn't, because it was just one straight shot and then a flag.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, these days I struggle with quite a bit, seeing where do we have a continuation up? Do we just kind of fold over for the rest of the day and continue dropping? Have it be like a 3% red day?
yeah, yesterday I was chasing that move. I chased that move, and a trade I would literally never take. Like if I, and the thing is, that was the thing that I tweeted about it yesterday, but I entered long with like barely a pullback
Mm-hmm.
and was just looking for because I was like, the inside bars on NQ is right there. I want to take it. No consolidation, no like structure to go off of. Like you would have just had to buy pretty much on the inside bars for NQ, and then
Yep.
like it just kept going and going and going and going. Like there was no entry. So obviously I was furious. I mean, not obviously, but like I was not thrilled about that. I mean, probably obviously. I was not happy that, like, even if you look at the 1 minute, it's like practically green candles all the way up, which is like not great.
Yep.
And I literally just was like, I'm gonna take it here, and was just like pretty much hoping for continuation, which is such a bad trade in my opinion. Like that was probably one of the worst actual trades that I've taken in a while. And
Feels
yes, it was
icky.
what's up?
Feels icky to take.
Yeah. And then I'm in it and I'm like, if this goes against me, I'm going to be so pissed because I shouldn't have taken this trade. But yeah, I mean, it worked out. But like, that's the other piece that we talk about is like reinforcing bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
that was a terrible trade to take.
I've been really working on not taking, even if there are wins, not taking trades outside of my allotted time frame to trade.
Yeah. Because you do 10, 20 onwards, right?
Yeah. Yep. 1023 and after. I've tried taking trades before that, but they end up getting chopped out. This week especially.
Yeah.
By the time we get to 10 o'clock on every day this week, we've had that little 10 o'clock wiggle that you mentioned.
Yes, dude. The 10 o'clock wiggle, dude.
So if I had tried the bias with what the IB was telling me just off that first 15 or first 30 minutes, I would have gotten kind of just torn up in the chop every day, but Friday last week, really.
Yeah.
Because you have it's too early for me to determine my direction. I don't really use VWAP for that, but even if I had, Wednesday I would have lost. Thursday probably would have been a loss because it was almost 100-point candle, 120-point candle that we had at 10 o'clock, and then it continued up yesterday.
Yeah, it's so easy in hindsight to look at these days like yesterday and be like, you could have just rode the EMAs, could have rode the SMAs, you could have just held runners, you could have been buying the dips. Like, you know, I mean, the same thing happened last Friday. It was just like literally the most beautiful, like for people who like to ride the trend, like EMA traders, like this market has been your best friend. But it's actually like very unlikely that these types of continuation, like these moves continue. Like it just like is not, it's just so rare that like these moves where it just goes higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Like if you look at your chart right now from QQQ yesterday, like one red or like that whole, for the majority of the actual move, there's one 15-minute red candle. Like that's so rare. So
even if you zoom it way out,
I know
this is a 27% move up that we've had in a month and a half, 6 weeks of trading.
So the thing is, like, even yesterday, I'm in that long, I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going to target, because obviously I didn't have a target after my inside bars was taken.
Yep.
But I was like, okay, I'll go for like somewhat Globex high. Now, obviously we're in like all-time highs, so like it's tough to set your targets. I'm like, okay, I'll go just before Globex high. whatever, that'll be a good area. But then you're also thinking about, at least I am, like, is today going to be another trending day? Should I hold a runner? Like, is it just going to continue? I mean, I would have gotten stopped out either way. So like, I'm happy with the profits that I took, like, because it pulled back and it would have stopped me out. But
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yesterday, after the IB broke, I had literally nothing to go off for trades. There's no price targets to go for all-time highs. SPY was the one that I was looking at in particular because it was irrationally long the entire day.
Dude, it was crazy.
And then it finally got that little whiplash at like 12:15, 12:30.
Yep.
And that probably, all the people that were going short on the move up probably got stopped out on that move up until 12. And then you revenge trade, you start going long, and then it pulls back to VWAP and has a perfect bounce off of that.
Yep.
But yeah, it was very difficult yesterday.
Yeah, as soon as I got out of that trade, I closed all my brokers, closed even TradingView.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
didn't want to look at anything else.
I'm not looking at anything. I don't care. That's it. Like,
we also had a very rare. So the IB range yesterday was, I think it was 0.4%, 0.38. My allergies. Excuse me. So the IB by levels for SPY. We can go into, I'll just leave it on 0 to 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
The chance that we had a continuation of 1.0 for a breakout was less than 50%.
Yep.
And then even on all days, it's 16% that you're looking at. And so it was, I thought we were going to stop at 0.5, and then we go to 1, and then it made it look like it was going to go all the way up to 1.5 with how that candle closed. And the initial pop of that was the almost 750. I thought we were going to get up to 750 with the momentum we had.
Yeah, I mean, we're close there. But the other thing is, I don't know if you want to change it for yours. Like, if you look at the 3 extensions, like the buy levels, like each of those levels, like they're so far away that what I did was I made the increments smaller. So on mine, it's like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, all the way up to 0.8, because I know that after 0.8, or I mean, you could do like 0.2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 1.2, just because like it'll give you better, more like granular targets. You don't have to do it, obviously.
I mean, I don't change it because I don't want to find myself getting into trades after the IB's broken.
Yeah.
So I just leave it at, I cut it off at 1.5 because we rarely ever see anything over that anyway.
Yeah. We're getting a pretty solid move up right now.
Yeah, this is a very strong pivot. My bias into open today, I don't really have one.
I mean, what do you think about previous day's low, that outside bars?
The outside day is about the only thing that I would look for.
Yeah.
It's not that far, but I don't think we're going to go all the way up and fill the gap.
No, I don't think so either.
Like I was saying, these days are very difficult for me to read with how large of a gap is, how large of the gap we're trying to play. And we already dropped 500 points, so what's the likelihood that we go and pivot up another 500 into open?
Wow, there's only been 4 bearish outside days in the last 6 months on NQ.
Yeah, that I looked at that last week. I was looking at the data table for that, and I was like, surely there's no way we've only had that many. But you go and look at the 24-hour, and it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, we got that market open now.
I do not think we're going to get too much volatility today. We don't really have any news either.
Are you looking at financial juice for that?
I just look up market data this week.
I know. Financial
and then I always pull up Walter Bloomberg.
Yeah.
So we don't have, we have nothing of significance today. I am going to, however, close my covered calls. Sold yesterday.
Beautiful.
Sold some 39s on MSTX.
Beautiful. Were they in the money when you sold them?
No, we had an insane continuation.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just pulled up the chart and I was like, oof.
I sold them. I was like, I think I'll be fine. It was after this push up, and then I checked my phone later, and MSTX sitting at 42. And I was like, well, I held those shares for this long, and now they're gone.
Yep, I was gonna say. I was like, wait a minute, did you sell them in the money?
No, I did not.
I mean,
sold
they
them.
probably got crushed, right?
Yeah, they're destroyed now. My rule for it is they need to be 0.2 deltas, so I only have a 20% chance of getting assigned on them.
Yeah.
If I sold them at 100, I'm buying them back at 10 right now.
Sure.
So 20% chance of getting assigned. Pretty happy with that. And I checked later, and it's at like a 1 point, not 1.2, like a 0.89, 0.9 delta. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's nice. I held these shares for 6 months, and now they're about to get wrecked. The first covered call I sold. I believe we have Dan with us now.
Yeah, we do.
I'll add him on the stream. Good morning, Dan.
Morning.
What's up?
How we doing?
Very good. It's good to have you. I like your hat.
Cheers. Well, you know what? Funny story, right, about the hat. When you guys, when I got the hat, literally the first 2 days I wore it, I lost. And I'm just a superstitious old lady. I am like literally. It's not recommended to any trader. But literally, first 2 days lost with the hat. So I was so scared to wear it for the next couple of days, and I avoided wearing it completely. And then eventually, I was brave enough one day, wore it, got the win, and then I've been like on a winning streak wearing the hat on and off ever since. So
beautiful.
It's the curse is over on the hat. There was no curse on these actual hats, I promise.
Yeah. Yeah, your algo has been on a crazy streak.
He is the algo.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's bonkers out. Absolutely bonkers. Just to leave it, let it run, and check every day, and it just keeps being green. I mean, it's great. I mean, obviously, I think before the green streak, it was on like a 3-4 trade losing streak. So
of course,
it's swings and roundabouts, of course. But
yeah,
I mean, it's great. 10 days now, 10 days in a row. I mean, that's
the IB 25 yesterday was perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, that was a beauty yesterday.
But I did make up for it by taking these 2 wins last night on Asia Globex IBs, Globex Asia IBs. So there's even though this one was set short, and I want to discuss this with you today, Andre. If you could add something in based on, I think you added a note for it yesterday, based on the close. So for last night, the IB I closed at like 75% on the dot of the IB. So what's the likelihood that it goes to the low versus the high?
So different from the midpoint.
Correct. Yep.
So like breaking. Okay. So
if the IB closes over the midpoint, under the midpoint, that changes the stats. But what if it closes over the 25% or over the 75% of the IB?
Okay, so now you want to bucket them pretty much. So now you'll have 4 buckets, whatever, call it 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 100, right?
Correct.
Based on the direction, the formation, pretty much, right?
Correct.
So if the low forms first, the high forms second. The 0 to 25 is from the top down. And if the high forms first, the low forms second. 0 to 25 is from the bottom up, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So the odds on that having its continuation to the upside.
But not like an IB by retracement, right?
Correct.
Just like which side does it break?
Yeah, this win last night, it was short bias, but I still took the long because it
was theoretically in that 75%.
Yep. And it ended up winning just before the IB was finalized. And then even after the IB won, it took the high. But at the very least for the Asia Open, so we have our high at 8:15, low
Mhm.
made at 8:30 or 8:45. This one I chased a little bit because I missed the entry. I know the candles shows that it closed up there. It came back down, and I don't know how volatile that was back to the upside.
Yeah.
This one I did chase a little bit, and then I got trailed out.
Because I know that people have asked for that. This, like, where it closes. They've actually not asked for that specifically. But what they have asked for is the pullback before the breakout of the IB. How far does it pull back? Okay. And that's a lot more complicated to do. Not like which side does it break. That's easier to do. But if you're going to say, okay, it closes, let's just say the low form is first, because the bullish example is a little bit easier to walk through. But let's say the low form is first, the high form second, and then it opens at the 70, like in the bottom bucket. So it opens near the low. Does it count as the other one's being touched, or does it not count as it being touched? Right? Like, and if you're going to do it that way, what if it opens and then it comes? Like, there's a bunch of different edge cases that happen if you're looking for the pullback. Meaning, in the case of how often does the IB25 get hit, how often does the IB50 get hit before the break, which is the IB by retracement is a different report. It only measures after the break. But before the break, it makes it a lot more difficult, because you need to kind of like bucket it differently. And then if you segment it out too much, then there's gonna be like 3 days in each bucket, and like, is that gonna be super helpful? But
exactly,
looking at the break direction is easier to do.
Yeah, so if you could get something on that, that would be awesome.
I will do that.
Because the days, there's only been one that I've personally seen. Dan, you can add anything on this too. There's only been one day that I've seen where the IB is closed. I have it saved on my chart. The IB is closed at,
it's like the other day or last week, right?
Like way over, like a couple cents away.
Yeah,
we had. So I guess two of them. That wasn't the example I was going to go for, but it did happen last week. You're right here. Thursday, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, just about. We closed at just below 75%. It should have taken the low, and then it went and took the high. So that one would be an outlier.
Yeah.
The one that I was referring to, I was going to look for, was it did have divergence with the IB. Probably not going to be able to find it. Yeah, last night was a good enough example. It formed the high first, low second, but it closed just about 75% of the way up towards the high.
Wednesday the 13th of May? Is that an example? Wednesday the 13th.
No, because that one made a new high at 10:15.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, sorry. You're looking at SPY. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at NQ.
Oh, Qs?
Yeah.
That one would have been diverged, so I don't know if I would have played that, but yes, that would be an example.
Yeah.
Closed at just over 75, like 85% actually. And then went and took the high.
Look at that comment, by the way, that I just put on screen.
Very nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Many years. I got my first payout once I started using edgeful.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Blew my fundeds last night, sadly.
My funded futures?
No, there's a comment here. Pipty.
Sorry. Right.
No, I passed my lucid ones last night.
Oh, nice. Are you live again now then?
I am. I have 50K accounts now.
Nice.
So I got you needed 5 trading days on them, 5 winning days with 30% consistency, but there's no requirement on the winning day. So I just need 50 cents. And now I'll get the email later today. It'll take a week or two probably. So I'll be trading on Tradeify until then.
Why the 50K accounts? Because in my mind, you're Mr. 25K.
Yeah, the 25Ks were a little too tight. With the live accounts they weren't too bad. I had a pretty nasty error with one of them where it locked me out of it, but it still left my orders open.
Oh wow.
So when I got access to the account again, I did this on stream too, so I'm not BSing anyone, but I had the Globex trade, or not Globex, New York IB on gold. I took longs and ended up stopping out, but the stop loss when I hit exit market and cancel, the account that I lost access to left the stop in place, so I got filled short. And when I got the account back, it was all the way over the IB high, so I was down like 680 something.
I'm trying the shorts on NQ right now
Yeah.
at exactly 200, looking for a new low of day. That move up was very strong, and I will happily take a high risk trade here.
Oh, I like the 29
Yeah.
psych level.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Yeah. My stop is 50 points, targeting new low of day. It's a negative. It's practically a 1-to-1 right now. Let me pull up my screen 1 sec.
Go for it.
I wish I caught it a little bit higher. Like the entry count is not fantastic, but I do think that when Zinc, you've seen this a lot. Like when you get these crazy candles, I'll just take the opposite side on that. And there's no real, like I don't have any data on it.
What Ike does. That's his whole strategy, Trader Ike.
Yeah.
He goes for large moving candles, and then you just got a nice little 25 points there, 30 points.
Yeah.
He goes for large candles like that, and then just inverses them with a 2 NQ position.
Yep.
He only goes for a couple $100.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking for just before low of day here, or low of New York. Right now at like 51. But it's a high risk trade to do it because like you never in that moment, like you never know if there's a real catalyst that created a 80-point candle in 1 minute. But like for the times that it's worked, for the times that it hasn't, like it's been pretty solid for me to do.
Good.
But,
yeah, I know you haven't got a VWAP on there, but your entry is like beautifully off the bounce of the New York VWAP.
Beautiful.
It's nice. It's nice. It's beautiful.
Let's look.
How many points are you going to be looking for?
40, 47-ish, looking just for like orb low right now, or currently orb low. Yeah.
Something that I have been enjoying doing for you would love this for Globex too. Not that I'm saying you need to trade more.
Yeah.
Because Globex moves so slow
Yeah.
with an opening candle like this. If you and I do this on evals, it works.
Here,
very
let me pull
well.
up your screen.
I haven't tried it on funded accounts yet.
Yep.
But let me go and find a good example of it. Gold would be, you can do it on gold. Gold usually always proceeds in the direction that Globex opens. But if you have your opening candle red, it's very unlikely that you have a continuation or a reversal and go and take a new high. So you can short it on any pullback and hold it until the IV's broken. Because you at least know, like what you're doing right now, you at least know that it's going to take a new low.
Yeah.
Or even head lower than it originally started.
Yeah. I would like this move down to like really power through this. I don't want to sit back. I don't want to go back to break even, to be honest.
What do we say about break evens?
No, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to close it. Wait for it. All right.
There you go.
I just closed it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not. There's a little that I don't want that. I closed it at 66. And of course, I closed it 5 seconds before it hit my target. Whatever.
You still got 90% of your trade.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was from 200 to 66. So
34 points.
34 points. Let me pull up my screen and just kind of walk you guys through this quick 1 sec.
It's a proper nice start though.
Yeah. So, oh God. now
It's
now I'm gonna-
okay. It's okay.
So, oh my god. Okay,
Happened to me last night.
it's okay. So, whenever I see a candle like this, like a gigantic candle going in either direction, it doesn't really matter. Ideally, it's counter to the trend of like, I mean, now I'm on a 1 minute chart, so there's not really much here to work with. But if I see an 80.1 minute candle on NQ, there is something that happened. Maybe that there was like a level that like just got blown through, and I want to take the opposite trade. Like I've done it multiple times on stream. If there is a gigantic candle in one direction, whether it's long or short, so I'll take it long side too. Like if price is kind of taking the stairs up above the orb high, elevator down to the orb high, like a 1 minute candle, I'll take that long all day. The thing is, you got to be really quick with the entry. Like you can't really hesitate. And in this case, like my entry was not fantastic. I was targeting orb low. It's really the only like level that I have because outside days is not in play right now. Gap fill's not in play. Midnight opens not in play either. And I'm looking for the next key level, which would be orb low or the Globex low, which is like right there. Closed it early because I was getting a little bit of a wiggle there, which probably shouldn't have. But
Wiggle.
Yeah, there's no data behind a trade like that. Unfortunately, that's just like my subjective kind of like, I'll take it because I know that an 80-point candle in one direction is either a real catalyst and I'm going to get blown out pretty quick, or it's almost going to be a reversal for the most part. Like if it's a tweet or a headline or whatever, like you're probably going to get blown out. You got to be a little bit more patient with the entry. But these candles have been coming pretty frequently, at least recently. I mean, Zinc, you've been on stream with me where I've taken a couple of those. So yeah, definitely more subjective. So be careful with that. But yeah, I mean, 34 points I'm fine with. I could have.
Yeah, and now look at it.
Yeah.
You would have had to have the perfect exit on that trade.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm also happy with a 1-to-1 or less. You know, like I know Dan, I think you talk about that a lot. 1-to-1 or less. Like I'm happy to take a trade where I'm risking a little bit more that I'm looking to make, because if I'm looking at a 30, 40, 50 point move, like I'm fine with that.
Yeah, green is green at the end of the day, isn't it? I mean, it all depends on how aggressive your negative risk to reward is. Like you've taken what, just shy of 1 hour there, haven't you? So
yeah,
you know, slightly negative. If you're going to be super aggressive, like for me, I probably consider myself to be quite aggressive with the negative hour trades. Like my negative hour is like 0.5, 0.6, like 0.7. It's like around that range. But I think for me personally, if you're going to take negative hour that aggressively, I think you need to be willing to cut the trades as well when they're going against you. I think when you're that negative, you know, otherwise the maths is going to work against you in the long run. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm on a bit of a win streak at the moment, but if I'm taking 1 hour losses, it's only going to take a few losses and all that streak will be wiped out. So
exactly. You definitely.
What I'd like to add in too is you just said that there was no. This is just for my trading. You said there was no data for that. It was just
correct.
A gut feeling or a hunch that you have. Yeah. So if it loses, what does that teach you?
Don't break your rules.
There's nothing to go along with, but you won, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, this is like.
Not saying it was a bad trade at all.
No.
You have the stress is on you rather than the stress being on the data playing out.
Which is why I didn't have the confidence to hold to my target.
Yeah, now
I'm like,
it would be deep red.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, at this point I would have cut it. Like, if it. The thing is,
if you moved your stop to break even, what would have happened?
Stopped at a break even. So when you get that itch, you got to just close it. But no, I take discretionary trades. I also obviously take trades targeting inside bars, targeting IB high, targeting whatever outside days, gap fill, midnight open. But a trade like this is really where, outside of yesterday where I had that sloppy nonsense that I did.
Yep.
I usually use the orb as structure to trade on one of the other reports, which is any of the other reports, like the outside days, the inside bars, the IV high, like whatever else. And I'll use that orb as like the midpoint of the orb high, the orb low as my structure, like yesterday, or on stream on Monday, actually, Zinc. Where were we? Or was it Wednesday? No, it was Wednesday. I was saying I got short at 80. Why at 80? Because that was the orb low, and it was like consolidating at the orb low.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, I know you guys don't. I mean, I don't think you guys use that, but that's something that I look at as the orb, not necessarily the orb report, because the orb report doesn't really have as much like data there. But the orb,
the same thing for the IV.
Yeah, like the orb levels, I think are pretty key there.
And you know that it's going to go to one of those levels. It's either going to stop you out real quick, or it's going to go and continue to the level you're looking for.
Yeah,
so not bad at all.
I find it's always the case with the orb though. Look at that breakout to begin with. First breakout never burns, always comes back into the range or comes back to the opening range, high or low, one way or the other, doesn't it?
The double break is pretty high. I mean, I'll pull up the stats right now, but the double
it's not as high as it used to be. I remember the stats, like, was it like when I first got edgeful, I think was a couple of years ago, the double break stats were insane. I think
80% on ES. 80%.
80. Oh, okay. Wow,
yeah,
that's pretty good.
80% on ES. People don't believe me that the data changes, but I mean, it's not.
I feel like you don't need to watch it day to day.
Yeah.
I was going to add in that we do have a very slim chance of continuing lower because of that opening week range. We have a double break of that for Tuesday. It's only 26%.
Yeah, let me pull up your screen one sec.
But the data definitely, like what you said this morning, we've only had 4 bearish outside days in the past 6 months.
Yep. Yeah, it's not, I mean, on Friday.
So if you see that data and you're like, we're probably, for an outside day that we do go and fill, we might go and fill it, but it's not very often that we do.
I mean, I'd be pretty shocked, to be honest. And looking at some of the Mag 7 major market movers.
Yeah.
The only thing that's really even close to high of day, or Google's at high of day, but like Apple is, and then NVDA's at kind of in the midpoint, Meta's in the midpoint, Apple's pushing, Broadcom's at near the low of day. Looks actually kind of bullish with these like bottom wicks, but Tesla's pushing now, but yeah.
This is a very strong pivot right now.
Yeah, this is this looks like it's gonna continue higher.
I hate when price is doing this though, when you have your opening candle getting engulfed.
That looks like a barcode.
Yeah, that was Monday, which I got burnt on. Monday did the same exact thing, only it was green to red.
Look at that. It's disgusting.
That's terrible.
So if we do that today, we'll reverse the drop to outside days. But it still is a $5 push up from where we are right now.
We have gotten a crazy move higher right now. On NQ from the lows, 180 points.
Yeah.
ES is lagging pretty far behind.
And then like your timing on that too. What do you do if you don't get the perfect exit? If you were short still, when you don't adjust your stop at all, you just
take
riding all the way back up.
No, I would have. I mean,
No,
I would have just gotten
saying
stopped
in
out.
general, not you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would have just gotten stopped out if I didn't. I mean, it did go way lower, so my initial target would have been hit. But if it, let's just say, for some reason I didn't, above the midpoint of the orb would have been a signal for me to be like, yo, this is probably not going to go in my favor. What I don't like is when price goes in my favor a lot and then pulls back, and now I'm like deep red. That's where I'm like, I'm not really sure if I want to hold on to this.
Yep.
Could you imagine though, if price just keeps going higher and higher and higher for the rest of the day, and you look back on your trade at the end of the day and you caught that little bit of a short down?
I know.
That was me last night, man.
Yeah. This is the way that this is what I tweeted about this the other day. Like on Wednesday, the entire move was like this, and I caught like the only piece of the short that I don't know why I'm like this, honestly. Like it makes my life actually a lot harder, to be honest. Like always looking for a short trade makes your life way harder. Like if you guys have a natural bias to a certain direction, if it's long, you're going to be way better off than if it's short. Like if I can just rewire myself to flip my bias to be long bias, I'd be so much better off.
I always like looking for long bias entries.
Yeah,
I
feel my heart just beats a little bit quicker.
Short?
Yeah, short. Just a little bit, as long as I still got the data, but just a little bit. I'm a little bit more anxious.
We're
on the
still
shorts.
human.
But my data shows it as well, though. It's like if I look at my data of my trades throughout 2026, I've lost much more on shorts than I have longs.
Yeah, this was the exit that I had last night. I got out at 6:49, and we are all the way down at 25. I would have never gotten stopped out even if I put it at break even. Which is terrible to say, but I would have had to happily left the trade open, gone to bed, had a good night of rest, slept all night, not checked it until 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, no way.
You didn't catch the whole move? No?
No. If I did, I would have posted it on Twitter. Andre always says it's impossible. Well, not impossible, but you have to have something else going on if you're catching a trade that's that large.
I stand by that no matter what.
So if you ever go on social media and you see someone post a 2,000% trade, more often than not, they probably had either no respect in that trade or there was something preventing them from getting out of it.
I could not agree more.
Or they just weren't watching it. They forgot they had it open.
Especially with the 0DT options, like, dude, you're catching 1,000-point move. I mean, nobody's holding for that much.
No.
I don't. Maybe you are, maybe once in like a blue moon if it really rips quickly in your direction. But like if it's grinding in your favor, people don't do that. It's just like it's not it.
I think the only way to do it is not be watching the trade.
Yeah.
Or not even know that you have it open.
Yeah. Well, that's a different story. You don't want to do that. You don't want to not know that you have trades open.
Yeah, but we're just talking about how do you actually have a trade that runs that much?
Yeah.
Unless there's something else going on, you usually don't.
Yeah.
That's why I could never like swing trading. I tried swing trading when I first got into trading. Like I tried because I looked on the internet. It said swing trading was the most sensible thing to do for beginners. So being a good student that I was thinking about, okay, I'll swing trade to begin with, you know. But then leaving trades on. I was only paper trading the swing trading, and I was nervous about my trades leaving overnight. How ridiculous is that? So if I was nervous leaving paper trades on overnight swing trading, I knew it wasn't for me.
I hate swing trading.
I need to sleep well at night. Yeah,
I hate swing trading. I think that it's way too. I think about the trades way too much.
You're always checking your phone.
Always.
Yeah.
I don't even like to have a trade on. Like when I sell options, when I sell credit spreads, I look at the trade on my phone.
Yeah.
I have memories of waking up at 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning, checking my phone for a paper trade.
I mean, you take it seriously.
So
That's an important piece, like taking it seriously.
Yeah, I suppose.
Directional bias is short right now for the IB. Excuse me. I couldn't mute my mic in time.
It's looking slightly better on ES, I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Shorts the moment, slightly.
Swing trade with share is much better than options mentally. That's just
yeah.
Or that too, yeah. If you have a huge trade, you have 10 contracts, and it's the last 1 to 2 contracts that run.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
But then again, that doesn't get shown.
Yeah. I think that either way, I think either way, trying to catch a 200, 250, 300 point move on NQ is just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, that's my opinion. Like, I don't know why people will be like, yeah, I'm going to target a 200 point move, because like it never goes straight. Like, you'll be up 150 and then back up like 40 points and then back up another 100 points and then back up. Like why are you doing that? That's my opinion.
Come on. It looks good on social media, right? Come on. Is that not a reason for it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get Twitter followers, dude.
That's it.
NVDA is down 4% now at the moment.
I know. I'm just looking at that. I'm wondering if taking another short here is the...
It was deserved.
What's up?
NVIDIA being down that much is deserved.
Yeah.
We're taking the IB today, Zink? Yes. Yes, we will be.
Short's definitely the only play today for me personally at the moment. NVIDIA's down 4%, Tesla's down 3.8%, Amazon's down 1.5%, Meta's down 1.5% as well. IB's bearish on ES and NQ. Below the VWAPs. Good to see Zinc with the VWAPs as well.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
Don't have anything from Walter Bloomberg yet. No breaking news.
I would love to see a pop back up to the 220s, ideally like 240, and then some confirmation, like a hard rejection in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if we're going to get it.
Because you've already got a winning trade, how do you approach a second trade? Do you like put half risk on? Do you just put the same risk on?
It kind of depends. It depends on like the structure and a little bit more of like the quality. Like every time I take those trades, those like type of like quicker moves, I'll always use, like I'll be more in and out and like use a little bit lighter size. But like in this case, like if we get an actual move, like where it's not a flash up to this 240, 220, 250 area, then I think that the previous trade that I took is not really going to impact this next trade. Because if this other trade was a loser, then like theoretically, I don't want it to like impact like another quality setup. So I try to keep them independent, but yeah, that's kind of the way that I like to think about it. Is I try to keep every trade independent, like regardless of what happened. I mean, it's obviously I'm like I still consider it, but like in the back of my mind. But like in an ideal world, like every trade should be independent, not based on like how much money I made yesterday or how much money I lost yesterday or etc.
Yep.
Interesting.
I try, but it's tough.
Yeah.
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 I would really, really like to see a move back up to the midpoint of the orb, 220-ish, ideally like 240, and then like a confirmation down. And I will look to target new low of day, which would technically be, I mean, assuming that there's not a new higher low of day, that would be the IB low, but yeah.
I think we're pretty good for that IB short. I do have to head out here in 14 minutes, so probably not going to be able to take it. So I do like that short direction bias for the IB.
Yeah, 70% chance as well of the IB break low.
Yeah,
today.
Friday stats are very good for the IB.
Yeah.
6 months. 90% on SPY. Oh, no, that was Thursday.
What I'd like to see is...
Oh, okay, 70% as well.
85%.
Oh, 80. Ooh.
Nice. Yeah, good chance for a short today.
I would like it. Dan, you said ES is the better setup for you today?
This is my biggest sort of kind of thing I'm thinking about the way I trade, because I trade just NQ. I try to trade just NQ.
Yeah.
Just to keep it simple. I played around with swapping from one asset to another, but I feel like it's just another decision for me to make. Sounds a bit lazy, but it's kind of, yeah, it kind of tortures me a little bit inside of which one to choose. And then if I don't choose the correct one, then do you know what I mean? It's kind of when I keep it to just one asset, it just keeps it very simple in my head. I have to admit though, like choosing NQ this week though, even though I've had a green week overall this week, NQ has been the weaker of the asset for each of the trades I've taken this week. So I feel like I've been playing, the harder asset for that IB break as it is. But I don't know whether in the future I'll get more comfortable with looking at ES and NQ and go, right, okay, today I'm going to take ES or today I'm going to take NQ. You said it the other day on X about trusting the data. I probably need to get better at that myself in terms of just
it takes time, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if ES says 80% today and it's the stronger asset compared to NQ, which is 70%, the logical thing would be, well, take the trade on ES, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? I'm mark what before I do anything different with the way I trade, I just mark it up. I'm just marking up all the time in my journal, just kind of like, okay, today if I took the ES, this would have worked out, this would have, and once I've got enough, then I'll perhaps make a change. But I'm not going to today I will just trade NQ because I haven't got enough markups yet just to go swapping assets.
Even though let's just assume you're going to take the shorts, even though ES structurally is much weaker. Like NQ almost made the new high of day. ES was like arguably not even close, still 12 points away. You'll still take NQ short even though it's stronger intraday relative to ES because you just like don't want to, which is, I'm not saying that it doesn't really matter. This is your process. I'm not going to tell you how to trade, but like it's a genuine question because I know that I pick whichever one is, if I want to go short, I'll pick the weaker one. James does the same thing. I think Zinc, do you do the same?
I don't really care.
Yeah.
I take whichever one's closer to the midpoint. Now, if I do see, if I'm trading the IB and I see that QQQ is where it is right now, it's at 75% of the IB.
Yeah.
Maybe not go into a short aggressively on SPY because that is the weaker one right now. It's at the 50%. QQQ could go and take a new high, and then that would invalidate the trade before I can even have validation or invalidation on the one that I got in. So I'm not looking for, on days like this, when QQQ is a little bit stronger, I'll wait longer into the IB. I won't enter at 1023. I'll enter right at 1030.
Yeah. I mean, NQ is seeming to be very strong right now.
It is.
And the thing is, NVIDIA is still close to the low of day. Like, this could be a good short, but I don't like how close it is to the new high of day.
I agree. If it rejects like right now, the good thing is, while waiting, QQQ may offer the better entry, because QQQ could reject, and then you get your IB50 entry on that as opposed to SPY. We do surprisingly have a very small range on both of them right now.
Yeah.
With how large of a move we've had today, it's only 110 point range for the IB for Qs, and then SPY is only should be about a 20 point range. Let's see. Yeah, 20 points on the dot.
Yeah, I don't love this.
A little bounce on Qs.
Yeah, honestly.
18 minutes left for the IB to finalize as well.
Yeah, I don't love this. To the short side, specifically on NQ.
For me, the NQ is looking a bit ugly at the moment.
Yeah.
Kind of getting close. If I'm looking at the New York VWAP, it's closing above and below the VWAP throughout the entire session. So far, it's looking quite choppy at the moment. It's a Friday as well.
Yep.
Not going to rush into anything on the last day of the week.
You also don't have to take a trade.
No. I say this a lot. Like, just the mental capital you will use today if you if you're green on the week, you've had a great week, and then you take a very low quality setup today and you lose. Never mind the money, the mental capital you're going to lose, not just today, but over the weekend as well. I think Friday trades make it a good one if you're going to take it.
Yeah. Wow, Apple's really strong. Google's making a new high of day.
There's our high.
Yes.
Also, Fridays, I'd say this all the time, Fridays are statistically the worst day for prop traders. Prop firms make the most amount of money on Fridays.
Let me just
how do you know about data?
Yeah, good question.
Little insider information.
What's this inside knowledge?
So there's a question here about the what's in play and why it's showing bullish. So if you go to the most popular ESNQ template at the top left, so for anyone who doesn't know the what's in play, what it does is it filters live data through the reports to give you your A+ setups every single day. In this case, what we have is in the what's in play in your left sidebar, we're going on the most popular ESNQ template. That'll pretty much load exactly what I have on my screen in your screen. And if you see here, there's 3 reports in play right now. Outside days by size, all of them pretty much have reversed up, which means that you want to target the previous day's low. The outside days by weekday on NQ, 75%. So that means there's only 4, obviously, and you can see that right over here. There's only 4 days that make up the 75%. So 3 out of the 4 days where Friday opened below Thursday's low, it has reversed up to go and back into that range. That's another important piece. So those are the 2 that are long so far. Outside days by weekday on ES, also long bias. Not nearly as strong as the NQ one. Also, keep in mind, there's only been 3 days on ES where ES opens below Thursday's low and and 2 of those days it reversed back into the range. So those are 3 that are currently showing in play right now. And then, yeah, pretty much like that's going to be it actually, because the reports that are completed, that's actually it. Those are the only ones that are actually even in play, because if you were filtering, the most popular template will filter anything that's lower than 65%. It won't show you. So if we actually go to the filtered out section, you're going to see a lot of stuff that's long and short in here. But the thing is, the percentages are not nearly as high. So when the percentages are not as high, you're not going to see it because you don't really want to see it. So hopefully that.
But I want
gives
to
you
play
the
the 30%.
You can go to the filtered out section.
So as I was just explaining, a day like this, you're just waiting for 10:30. There's no reason to front run the IB.
Yeah, I mean, it's today might be another day where it just rips up to the previous day's low. Like, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, I would like for a little bit more continuation of the top side. And then does this seem insane?
Yes.
Right now? I agree, actually. But in these markets, the consolidation that moved down in the morning and then it just continues all day, like that's what's been happening literally every single day. I don't know.
Oh, also with the move that we have in the market right now, this will probably get entirely retraced on Monday. We did the same thing Tuesday into Wednesday this week, and that was with news as well. Today we don't have any news overnight. This is just the organic drop.
Let me pull up your screen one sec, but hold on. I just want to make sure that you are showing what you're looking at.
So that news that we had on Wednesday, Tuesday into Wednesday was that nothing has changed. It's all Iran conflicts.
Yep.
We ended up making a new high actually into Wednesday. So this was a 2% drop, retraced it, only closed the day down 0.3%, gapped up 1%, and then finished the day at 1.5% to the upside.
Yep.
So seeing a high does make sense. We still have the outside day stat in play as well. I will add that for the market to move this much, it does get exhausted pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So come like 10:30, right when we're about to play the IB, it will probably stall out a little bit. And then especially after the IB breaks, my guess is we'll do something like we did 2 Fridays ago, where it had a minute break of the IB, barely broke the high.
Yeah.
And then we did absolutely nothing for the rest of the day. And as for your question, Dan, my information on props, you'll just have to believe me on it. But I think it's a combination. My insight to it is a combination of people having Friday off. They get paid on Fridays. So they go and, especially people that are addicted to gambling or trading prop firms, they go and dump their paycheck into prop accounts, and they usually get stuck with this type of price action on a Friday.
Brutal.
You must see it from like affiliate.
Definitely on affiliate.
You must see it.
I haven't brought up the total in a while, but today I was just adding them up. 142 resets.
No.
So far today.
God, dude.
Wow.
God.
And as I always say, they could be resets. They could be new accounts. The majority of them are likely resets. Because people buying new accounts, it's also just, why would they be buying
That's
new
so
accounts?
interesting. I've never heard like anyone say like how much resets be like put through a code on a day. That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
And
That's with one code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One code from someone that only has 17,000 followers. And then maybe the 4,000 subs on YouTube too. But imagine what the company itself is doing, or people that have like PJ Trades, 110,000 followers on Instagram and whatever else.
Yeah.
That is just me. Yes, that's not a combination of any codes. That's not the insider information from these. Yeah, imagine what Patrick Whelan does for sales or resets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably insane.
Yeah.
Still waiting for my MSTX covered call to get filled.
Oh, wow. You're not out yet?
No, it's pretty low volume because it's $3 out of the money now. But it's up 75%. I'm trying to get filled at 10. I have probably the only orders in for it. I have no worry of it bouncing up to an over 39. 40 would be my break even because I sold the calls for 100.
Yeah.
But that would have to be Bitcoin would have to reverse like 4% today for me to get screwed on that.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I would really like a pullback to the orb high on NQ to get long.
Yeah, we have the bias up to 714.58 now outside day stat on Qs and SPY. SPY is much closer, 743.60.
Yeah, 80 points from previous session.
See, like what I did yesterday was like, imagine right now just buying and then just riding it up to previous day's low.
Yeah,
like that's exactly what I did yesterday, and I was like, this is a bad trade.
Icky.
Yeah, and it obviously, like, thankfully it worked out, but like that's a bad trade to take. And like anyone, like if I took it now, everyone would be like, that's not for anyone who's been watching enough. Like they'd be like, Andre would never take a trade like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like a pullback to 300, 29, 300 area to target. Realistically, a new high of day, assuming this would be the high of day, that would be 80 points. So that's still a little bit more than I usually go for. I would realistically not hold a trade for 160 points to previous day's low, just because it's not my style. But I mean, the data is strong. The move looks like it's playing out. I know it's only 4 times on NQ and 3 times on ES, but it might be another day of it working. But I would like to get a pullback to the orb high-ish. It would be ideal, actually, if that pullback happened in an instant. If there was one candle that went straight down to the orb high, I would take the long all day on that at the orb high. But it seems like the opposite is going to happen.
See, I get nervous with my IB25 trade when the VWAP is below the IB50. It's for me, it's like there's a good chance price will retrace at some point to the VWAP. That's quite, for me, trading negative are kind of quite a lot of drawdown I'd have to sit in.
Mm-hmm. By the way, guys, just one other thing. For anyone who's watching who has an edgeful sub, we did put 2 little surprises for you guys. Limited time only. We're getting rid of these next Wednesday. We have the algo analyzer and we have the algo optimizer available for everyone right now in your sidebar. Let me just show you. Let me just pull up my screen 1 sec. So
before you get into that, I do have to dip out now.
All right. It was a pleasure.
Great stream. Dan, pleasure having you on. Andre, I'll see you next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
All right. Peace. So, Algo Analyzer, Algo Optimizer are available for all edgeful subs right now. If you guys have been wanting to test it, you guys have been wanting to play around with it, now's your chance, because next Wednesday, they're going to be gone. So if you don't have an algo sub, but you have an edgeful sub, you have access to these 2. They're in your sidebar, so make sure to check those out. But the trade that I'm looking for is ideally something realistically. I would not target 156 point move, just because I'm honestly being a little bit more realistic. But something like this, I would be definitely interested in. A break of the round. This is actually for me, and Dan, I'm curious what you think about. I mean, I guess your style is a little bit different than mine. But for me, I see round psychological number at 300. I see the orb high at 291, practically the same area. A break, a retest of that area, looking for the continuation up to previous day's low, hopefully. But realistically, I would target new high of day with the draw being to previous day's low, that outside days. You know, I'm actually going to put an order and we're going to see what happens, because if this flashes down and I miss it, I'm going to be upset. So my order is at 91. And by the way, guys, this is not a signal for you guys to take this trade. These are obviously my trades. You guys have different risk tolerance. You guys have different trading styles. If I take a trade, it doesn't mean that you should take a trade too. Obviously, I would like for this to play out. It could not play out because we're also still down 500 points. Like, it was a huge move down overnight. So technically, if you're looking at this trend for the last 24 hours, like, this is going long right now would be technically counter trend. But I am interested. I think that the high was made here. Another high was made here. Price breaks above, retest that high. I'm interested in looking for the longs. It would actually play nicely into, and Dan, I'm curious what you think here. The IB, low form first, high form second, looking for that break of the IB high, which in this case would be,
yeah, I like it. I'm actually long myself now. I just got long.
Beautiful.
I think with the previous session low target above, I won't hold on for that.
Yeah.
But I will. I'm looking for the draw. That's for me. It's a draw.
Yeah. I just took an entry at 301 and I have my entry at 291. So we'll see how this goes. So I'll put it at 301 here. I mean, hopefully it doesn't stop me out, but I think that a roughly 40-point stop into the orb is, and it's a little bit tighter than what your stop probably is, but
yeah,
your stop is at the 220s, right? Or ballpark?
162 on NQ. My stop's at the 75%. But when I say my stop's at the 75%, it's,
you might not hold for that.
That's like emergency break.
Yeah, like worst case scenario.
That's like Trump comes in, says something, spike, then I'm out.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just about the VWAP.
Yeah, 100%.
Like for me, if I'm getting a close below the VWAP around about here, then I'll get out.
Yeah. Let me pull up your screen so you can. Is that good? Can I pull up your screen?
Yeah. I'm showing. So
okay. Yeah, I would like for this to. My other order is still not filled yet, which is fine, but I do like the longs here.
Yeah. For me, I'm just targeting the IB high.
Yeah,
that's it for me.
Do you front run the IB high?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Sorry, I meant to say, will you take the trade off before it actually gets to? I've actually seen in some of your videos you will do that.
Well, I'll take the trade before. Yeah, sometimes.
Like your profit target is not exactly at the IB high.
Not all the time, but I'm trying to hold on a little bit more for that. I'm trying to get better at that.
Sure.
But because it just allows me just to risk a little bit less.
Yeah.
If I'm holding for the IB break high.
Sure.
Like today I've got 1 micro on.
Yeah.
So if I lose this trade today, it's not going to be the end of the world if it does lose.
Yeah. My other order got filled here. So I mean, maybe my stop is too tight right now because it is kind of just like flushing. Maybe I'll put it below 260 or yeah, maybe my stop is a little bit tight, but let me just look at NVDA. Come on. Don't do me this NVDA.
This is where for me now, because the VWAP is a bit lower in my stop sort of area, I anticipate a little bit of drawdown here on the IB25.
Yeah.
I don't just expect it to be plain sailing all the way to the high. So that's where I've got to be realistic,
I hope it does, because we did get a nice bounce here.
Yep. Yeah, let's hope this pops.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see some NVIDIA kind of pick up here. That would be super helpful. I would like to, I'm targeting just before the IB high at 379 would be my TP1, which is definitely a big move for me. 80 points is a lot for my trading style. I don't usually go for moves like that. but I don't really want to leave a runner to previous day's high. Oh, sorry, previous day's low.
Previous session low, yeah.
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 I might.
It may not.
Yeah. I might just.
But the stat on edgeful is what is it? 71% reversal
for outside days.
Yeah.
It's no, right now it's way higher. It's like 75 on ES. But the thing is, by weekday,
you'll do, yeah.
Yeah, but like overall, yeah, it's 70-something% for NQ and ES.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean, like, I would like this move to start to pick up like soon, but I don't know about targeting previous days low. It's just a little bit far for me.
It's quite far. Yeah, I wouldn't hold on. I very rarely hold for 1 hour. In fact, rarely is actually an exaggeration. Probably never.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm just looking for that quick pop to the IB high. And this is where I'm just leaning on the data now.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
what we got? We got a 70-odd% chance it's going to break the IB high. We got a 71% chance it's going to go to the previous session low.
Yeah.
Lots of data here to give me, you know, that conviction in that it's going to go long. You know, because I think many people are, because I know people looking at my sort of content on X and Instagram and YouTube, they see a very mechanical system, which it is. You know, my system is quite mechanical, but it has discretion in it as well.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm using the data, but not just the IB by rejection data, but I'll use the inside bars like I did the other day. I'll use other reports, and sometimes I'll take a trade that may be against my mechanical sort of system, but it's got data behind it, and I'll take it. And I think people are kind of messaging me on X, going, but you said don't take that. And it's like, well, it's one of those where once you trade your system for so long, and once you get more sort of skin in the game and time on the charts, you just sort of get a feel.
Exactly.
On top of having the data to back you up, and not just a feeling, but there's data as well to say, you know, I'm happy to take this trade. Like the other day for the inside bars, it was 90% it was going to go to that level. Or I think it was like 100% for the weekday. It was something stupid like that.
Sometimes it's crazy. But like, how do you ignore that?
I couldn't. Exactly. Like I said, I felt dirty taking it a little bit because it went against the IB formation sort of thing. But you know, but it's one of those where I just want to be able to walk away from a trade and go, I had a 71% chance it was going to go to that level, 30% chance it was going to go against me.
Yeah.
I want to play those odds, so I can walk away from a trade thinking I played the right side.
For sure.
I'll play those probabilities all day long. That's where edgeful for me has just been such a game changer. You know, just I am like that. I'm very logical and very sort of, you know, that's me as a person. So that's where data for me just relaxes me.
Same.
Data 100%. Nerd.
Yeah, I mean, that's me. Like I literally used to do all this in Excel. Like it was a nightmare to do it. And like, but I knew that I needed it, you know, like, you need it, but like a lot of people are not as like analytical as I am, obviously, or as you are. And they're not as like data oriented. And they're just like, I know I need this, but I just like don't know how to do it. And that's why edgeful exists, because this is something that like universally, in my opinion, everyone should have. Like, even if you trade with discretion, understanding that like, hey, there is a X% chance that price hits my target. Okay, I need to use my discretion to enter and set my stop, but like my draw is here. So it's important. I think it's important. I have my TP1 at 48.75, by the way, that would be a 50-point move, which is about to be hit.
Oh, you must be close to your TP now.
I'm like, I'm like a few ticks away. Yeah.
Ooh, come on.
Yeah. I think we'll probably get there, but my other target is at 379.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see, but I'm trying to like leave this a little bit because the IB is going to break. Not for sure, but like the IB is going to break in one of the directions, and I think I have a pretty good entry right now. So I would like to take this. I would like to kind of like let this play out as much as I'm itching to close it. as it's like fluctuating by my TP, but I'm gonna leave it and just see what happens.
I think we're good at the moment. I mean, I'm just looking at the big picture of YM, ES as well.
Yeah.
I like to look at those as well, and you know, although YM technically has a bearish IB, you look at the trend of it in the past sort of half an hour, 40 minutes, it's up, isn't it? You know, and then ES does have a bullish IB formation. We've had a nice bounce at the moment on IB25 on ES as well.
Look at this reversal.
So, it's okay. It may do this though. You just, I mean, for me, it's one of those where that's where the VWAP sort of helps me. Yeah. Because this tells me that, yep, you know what, I may have to sit in a little bit of drawdown here.
Yeah.
You know, I may just have to sit in a little bit of chop at least.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. The what sucks is that I was like 2 points away from my target. My TP1 at least.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that might be from a 50 point. This is why, by the way, guys, I hate to go for moves that are bigger than 50 points. It's just like, in my opinion, it's very hard. And now the trade is still valid, obviously, but like, in my opinion, it's very difficult for me to catch a 150 point move in one sweep, right? Like that's very difficult for me. I don't like to hold. I'm not interested in holding for 2 hours. Like I want my trades to be 30 minutes max, an hour max. Like I'm not interested in looking for this gigantic move. But yeah,
Someone's asked a good question in the chat. What's the latest time you take a trade? Would you just wait for the video to come a bit higher? For me, it's quite interesting because I know Zinc did the optimizer for the IB.
Sorry to interrupted you.
It's all right.
Go ahead. Continue. Sorry. Yep. TP1 is hit.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's quite interesting that Zinc did the optimizer, and he said like no entries after 11 a.m. And that's funny because that is that's my rule.
Yeah,
that is my rule. That's just from back testing. That's just from me back testing, seeing that anytime I entered after 11 a.m., it was just, you know. And my advice to anybody is, if you want to know what time is the best time to not enter on the IB, don't take my word for it. Yeah, don't trust me.
I 100%
go and find out yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because when you lose, you won't have your hard work, your data, all that time put in to hold you up. You need that stick when you take a loss. Losses are never nice for anybody. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. But if you've done the hard work and you know you've taken a loss according to what you found out, and that's what I mean. I get people asking me, should I enter at this time? Should I enter that time? I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's one of those where I don't know any more than anybody else.
Yeah.
And trust me, if I can go off and find through back testing and through time just in the market and find a system that kind of works, you can as well. I promise you, I'm no smarter than anybody else. I'm an idiot. So it's kind of, I've found a way. So it's kind of just, you got to go and
you got to put in the effort
as well.
You got to put in the effort.
Yeah.
It's but no, it also gives you the confidence. This is why signals are so hard, because people that take signals and I'll just pull up my screen 1 sec so I can show you guys the entry was over here at 301. There was another entry at 291. My TP1 was at this blue line, which is 50 points from my entry. And now I have my runner to IB high. It's actually not right there. It's at 379. Looking for the break of the IB high, I will happily front run the IB high a little bit. So I will not set my order at the IB high in case you get like price comes just up and then starts to reverse. I don't like to do it, but this was the trade. So I'll pull up Dan's screen again just so we can have that up. And for me, I think one of the reasons that signals don't work is because people are going to use different types of position size to take the same trade. So if you're taking a different position size as the person that's sending you the signal, and maybe they have more drawdown and you don't, like you can't, like their stop is at a place for a specific reason and you can't afford to take that stop, then you're not going to be able to take the trade the same way they are. You're also, if price moves in your favor and goes back against you, you're going to be more likely to interfere with the trade because you don't understand the logic that was taken to actually enter the trade or to like, where's your target or whatever else. So very difficult to not have the mental reassurance that like, I know why I'm taking this trade. And I know that because like I've done either the research or I've looked at the edgeful data, or I know that the price should get here X amount of time, to be able to sit in consolidation or chop or even take losses and be comfortable taking those losses because you're like, there was an 80% chance that this happened today. It didn't, like whatever, like no big deal. But.
Yeah. And also as well, I mean, let's be honest, right? You're following signals from Mr. Smith, for example. Mm-hmm. What if he just disappears? What if he dies? What if he goes away? Like, seriously, like, you quit your job, you think I'm going to run away and live off this guy's signals. What if he goes?
Yep.
What do you do then?
Yep. 100%.
You just quit your job, mate. And now, what are you going to do now?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like this is why we would never put signals into, this is why also like we don't, even with the algos, like the algos are like the closest thing that we can give someone to like a full, I mean, they are like a full setup, but like we don't give you guys the settings. We don't say like these are the most optimized, like these are the best ones, or this is what you need to be looking at. We say, here's the algo. You can customize everything. It's not a black box. You can literally do whatever you want. We explain exactly how it works. We have the optimizer to help you like get set up. We have the analyzer to help you understand things. We have all the explainer videos, but like at the end of the day, like I'm not telling you what I'm doing. I'm not like, I mean, I don't know if you publish the settings that you use, but like, it doesn't matter if you do, but I'm just saying that like, at the end of the day, we're trying to teach you how to fish. We're not trying to feed you the fish. You know what I mean? Like for all the users, like we want them to have the success on their own. We don't want to be the ones that are like, don't rely on me. Don't rely, like you have the data, you build your own system, you have the algos, you build your own system. Like that's the important piece. So, yeah. By the way, I moved my stop to I've been trailing my stop to 302. If this reverses, I don't really want to like sit in it anymore.
Yeah, YM came down quite sharply a couple of minutes ago.
Apple's pushing. See. I still like it because Apple's pushing. Meta's going to go for a new higher of day. NVIDIA's finally like building a little bit of a base here for what seems to be a move higher. If NVIDIA can reclaim like 228, I think that NQ is going to go to new high of day. But yeah, we just need a little bit of a boost from some of the bigger names. And I think that we'll get that high of day, which I know is your target, or high of day, IB high. And what I mean by high of day is high of New York session. That specifically is going to be that 380 mark, 383. We just need a little bit of a boost. And I think that we'll get that. We'll get that high of day.
I just have to say as well, right, to all the people watching, look how much micros I'm using as well.
Yeah, one.
Yeah. Like literally, I think the last 3-4 trades now have taken one micro, and it's
That's
just
good.
Like the power. I'm just playing the numbers game with the prop firms, right? If I get this win today, that's $150. That will be 4 more top step payouts for me. That'll be 8 this month, just from aiming for $150 a day. Because top steps say you need a minimum of $150 5 days to take a payout.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll play that game.
Yep. Yeah. Happily.
Keep the risk small. You know, don't be greedy, because they'll want you to be greedy. Come on, let's be honest. You just heard Zink before talk about the reset costs. These guys are killing it. You know, but play the game. Look at what the minimum day is for a prop firm, and build your buffer. If you want to, you pass a challenge and you do an evaluation versus a instant funded, and just play the game. You know, risk 150 if you're going to do 1-to-1, risk 200 if you're going to do 0.8R, 0.9R, and you'll hit your $150 for the day. You know, and then if you lose, then you're not really eating that much into your drawdown. On a 50K, it's 2,000. If you lose 300, say if you take a full 1 hour loss, $300, you're gonna have to lose a lot more to blow that account.
100%.
You know what I mean? But how do we all blow accounts?
Dude, that's so important, because people look at, oh, well, this guy made $20,000 today trading whatever, 6 minis and copying it across I don't know how many accounts. Like, you don't need to do that. Like, you genuinely don't need to do that. It's also very hard to do that. Like, honestly, with props, I think that one of the biggest keys is using smaller size. Like, if you're using your personal money, use as much size as you want. But with props, with the rules and everything else, using big size, I don't know that many people that have that much success using massive size, like multiple minis, and getting payouts consistently, because it's just so difficult. Like yourself, like Zinc, James Bruce is a little bit different because he trades CFDs.
Yeah.
So the position sizing is a little bit different, but like these guys that I know that are consistently getting payouts, like they're not using giant position size. They're just like stacking more consistent wins. So.
Yep. I think Zinc has talked about it as well, about scaling horizontally.
Yes.
Scaling vertically.
Yes.
And I think that's crucial because, I have to admit, I'm copy trading a lot of accounts.
Yeah.
Right? They're different kinds of accounts. Different accounts to scratch different itches as it is.
Yeah.
I've got my instant fundeds. I've got like 15 of those running in the background. Same risk as I'm doing for Top Step.
Yeah.
So they're just quietly running away. So I'll have payout season eventually, $30,000, $35,000 from those accounts, just once again, $300 risk, something like that. Get your $150 day. It's going to take time on the instant fundeds because there's no 5 days there. You got to get to a profit target. But then I've got the Top Step accounts, which scratch that itch of the regular sort of payouts. So I get my 5 days, get 150, keeps me disciplined and stuff. I've got some accounts that I'm trying to get to the daily payout, level where Trader 5 got some daily payouts. So that'll scratch some itch as well. And all this is just low risk. So for me to blow these accounts, I'm going to have to lose a lot. Or I'm gonna have to be an idiot and go on tilt and be emotional. And we're all capable of it. I think we're all capable of it.
Of course.
No matter how many years experience you have, it's just about it happening less.
It's also about it happening less. By the way, my trailing stop got closed at like practically break even. But it's about it happening less often. And it's also about it happening when it does happen, the negative impact is not as bad. So I think I was explaining this on another stream, but let's say that you tilt twice a week, and every time you tilt, you blow your accounts. The first thing you want to do is tilt once a week, right? Let's just say instead of twice a week, you want to change that to once a week. And then from there, instead of blowing your accounts when you tilt, you blow half your account when you tilt. Then you try to do once every 2 weeks. You allow yourself to tilt. Not allow yourself, but like really have the discipline to hold, like to resist. And then instead of blowing half your account, you can only risk a quarter of your account. And this is not going to be like a week by week thing, but like over the time, you're going to get to a point where it's like, yes, you tilted, but it's not going to destroy you. Because if every time you tilt, you blow, it's catastrophic. You're never going to be able to like have any success. Yeah. But when you tilt, it's controlled. That makes a difference. That's important.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, there's no real excuse for tilting anymore since they introduced automatic risk settings. The ability to set,
like locking your account.
Not a soft daily loss where you can go and like Trader 8 used to have, where you could, you'd hit your daily loss, you click on it, turn it on, turn it off, sort of thing, and then you can go again, sort of thing. But like it locks you out completely.
Yeah.
If you're setting a reasonable daily loss limit,
you know
what I mean? You shouldn't be tilting. But of course, a lot of traders don't put that in because it sucks.
Yeah.
When it hits and you can't trade anymore and you're emotional and you want to trade, but it just saves you from yourself, I wish I had that in my early days trading.
100%.
What was just, because I had just, when I got into futures, it was just Top Step, no other firm. And they didn't have this automatic risk settings, and losses were painful for me then, like with any newbie trader coming into it. And you just keep trading, you keep clicking buttons.
Like if your average trade is like 1 or 2 trades per day, and then you see that you're like 10 trades in, like already, whether you think you're tilting or not, you probably are. And like, that's your sign, like wrap it up, close it up. If you can close it up, like enough. Also, I want to pull up my screen one more time here, because for me, I've been like, and I'm curious what you think about this. I know that we're not on stream, like we don't really talk about like live trades like this as often, but I take this trade, right? The logic is there. I'm using IB by rejection. I'm using even opening candle continuation in this point, targeting the IB high. In this case, the IB 25, roughly, let me just double check, wasn't the level I was using, but the IB 25, where is my IB 25? Okay, here it is. The IB 25, which is right over here, coincides very nicely with my orb high and the round psychological number of 29,300. In my opinion, this right here, in my opinion, is an A++ long. No doubt, whether it hits the stop or not, in my opinion, at this point, the IB25 coincides with the orb high, coincides with a round psychological level. In my opinion, this is an A++, especially because there was a nice move up, a retest of a level that previously was a peak here, previously was a peak here before. If I go back, I take this trade every single time. I even set the orders before it happened because I was like, in my opinion, this is an A+ entry. Now, like I've said, probably 7 times in the stream, and I say it every single other stream, my trading style is 40 to 60 points for a target. That's it. I never go for a bigger move. I don't know why. It's just not my style. I have more success going with 40 to 60 points max. Now, in this case, price comes up exactly 50 points from my entry, and I take a partial. I take half off. And my second target is almost double, 75 points, 77, realistically like 80 points away from my entry. And of course, I move my stop to break even because I'm not letting a trade that was over 50 points go red on me. And for my style, I scalp much more than you do or Zinc does. And now my runner is stopped out with 0 profit instead of being 50 points. Practically 0 profit.
Yeah.
But my target is an A+ target, right? My second profit target here is a break of the IB, which if we look even just at the IB report, you're talking about 98% of all, this is on, now it might break the low, but okay, even better. In the last 3 months, there has not been a single day where the IB doesn't break. So you can expect today to break either the high or the low. Everything, the opening candle continuation, the outside days, the IB by rejection are pointing to the IB high to be break. So that runner, in my opinion, and the trade that you're in right now is still a great trade. But I should have just taken it off at my, like those are my personal rules. And I'm curious what you think about that, where you have these personal rules, the data showing this thing, which I still think is A+ no matter what. Like the setup is here. It's playing out. It's here. Yes, you're in drawdown right now, and maybe it reverses now to take that high. And I closed my trade too early. I didn't want to sit in drawdown, so it is what it is. But I'm curious how you layer in your personal rules of, for me, 40 to 60 point winner, close the trade. That's it. I'm not going, like I've said 10 times, I don't go for 100 point moves or 200 point moves. I'm curious what you think about how you do that and how you go about that.
So you're saying, despite the data saying this level is going to be hit, if it goes lower or goes, you have personal rules to say just cut it or just take the profit and things like that, right?
Yes, exactly. So like, even though the data is showing that previous day's low is very likely to be hit, even if this didn't happen, I realistically am not going to hold, just because of my style, to previous day's low. If there's another trade, because it's so far, right? Because it's 160 points away. If there's another trade where price can retest the IB high and I get the exact same setup, but just at the IB high instead of the orb high, I will take that targeting the previous day's low. But in this case, I'm not going for a 160 point move.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's kind of like, you know, for example, we've got previous session low, haven't we, right now?
Yeah.
For me, it's not a target, it's a draw. That's the way I'm looking at it. Sometimes as well, the IB high is not a target, it's a draw.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than it becoming, one tick away from from that, very high level that you were going for, and then it reverses on you, and then you get stopped out. You see all these on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts of these traders like, oh, it's so close, and then it just drops on them. That sucks. And I think for me, it's just about the draw. But when it comes to like for example, if I just share can you put me back on screen again?
Yep.
So it's kind of like for me, it's one of those where if it closes here, I'm going to cut the trade.
Yeah.
Right. Because my personal rules say, if I get a close below the VWAP, that's where I want to get out, really. And there is the chance that it will do something like this, where it closes here and then reverses and then goes in that direction. There's a chance that could happen.
Yeah.
And people will turn around and go, but you should have trusted the data and stuff. And yeah, of course. But my personal rules, I'd rather cut it when it closes below the VWAP. Why?
Yeah.
Because my experience with back testing and my experience with the forward testing, being in the live markets, tells me that the chances of it closing below the VWAP and then reversing and going towards those levels are quite, not very good for me. So that's where I kind of mix my data with my personal rules. It sucks. That day sucks where it closes below the VWAP and then it reverses. But that's the choice I take, putting my stop loss at the 75% level. Right? Yeah. I could put my stop loss at the 100% level just here.
Yeah.
And then I can let the data play out fully.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to have to risk more to get my IB high level. And for me, it's just about, like I said at the very, very start with the way I trade, because anyone looking at this right now and seeing my take profit at just above the IB high, what's that? 0.5, 0.6R? Mm-hmm. For some people, that's not for them. Good. You've got to trade your way. If you think that's not for you, fantastic. You've got to then figure out how you're going to make it work for yourself. But that's how I kind of mix the sort of data with my sort of personal rules. The data helps give me the direction.
Exactly.
But then after that, my personal rules are very, very important in how I manage the trade from there.
Yeah, of course.
The data, I don't use too much to help me manage it. It's just it's the draw, it's the direction, and it's great because I remember when I first got into trading ICT, because that's kind of what I kind of did towards the very start. I was spending about an hour doing my daily bias. Man, I felt so proud making all these big, huge notes and stuff and everything. Yeah. No wonder why I was so gutted at the end when I lost. It's like it's gonna work for the whole day, and then at the end of the day they go, "Oh, well, good effort, but you're not getting your salary today."
Yeah,
it sucks, doesn't it? So of course it's up. But now obviously with the edgeful day, it's great. I can just come on now. I go on the what's in play. I'll go on and check my IB buy rejection report, which is my favorite. I'll check inside bars, outside days, gap fill, look at all that data, and then I sort of have an idea of the bias before the IB is formed. And once the IB continues to form, then I've got a better idea of my direction using the data again. So it's like instant, isn't it? Just a quick glance. You don't need to spend 100%. 2 hours, looking at it all the way you've done it these days with the what's in play, especially. Kind of just has it there for you. That is great, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing that it's so interesting to hear how you go about looking at the data versus how I do it versus how Zinc does it, where we all do it so differently, which is the important piece, because we as edgeful, we'll never tell you you need to enter here, you need to risk here. That's a challenge for us too, is how do we make it as easy as possible for people to use, right? That's a big piece, obviously. But then the other side of that is we can't tell them what to do. We can't tell you okay, this is how to do it step by step, 1, 2, 3. It's not a guidebook. It's not an instruction manual on how to build a bed. You know what I mean? There is no single way to do it. And that's the challenge for us. It's how do we get as close as possible to that without doing, we can't do it no matter what, but without implying that, okay, you need to enter on the IB25 and you need to close at the IB75, or you need to close here because your risk doesn't work that way. You want to use VWAP, you want to use something else. Doesn't work like that. So that's the challenge.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd say that's the danger with people who follow me and watch my content. They see it as super mechanical and they think this is the way. This is the way I'm going to do it, and it's all going to be you're going to get very, very frustrated if you're copying exactly the way I do it and then it loses. Yeah, because you're not going to take any responsibility for it. It's Dan's fault.
Exactly.
It's Dan's system. Dan was wrong today. You know, well,
exactly.
And that's going to suck for you whenever you lose. You know, like no offense to anyone watching this, but I don't really care that much if you win or lose. You know, it's kind of just like you've got to follow your system. You know, use my approach. You know, or use James's approach, your approach, anyone's approach to sort of inspire your own sort of way of doing it. Yeah. But then you've got to make it your own. You've got to make it your own.
You have to. You have to. And that's the reason, where go on, continue.
Oh yeah, I was just saying that's where you're gonna find inner peace when it's yours. You own it. And this was my journey. Like Zinc was my inspiration for the IB. Before him, I trade the orb. Yeah. You know. Then I saw Zinc one day on X talking about the IB50, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Did a lot of back testing on it. Did a lot because he did a YouTube video on it. It was excellent. Yep. And then I did the back testing on it, and I thought, oh, hold on. It seems to come to this 25% retracement level here a lot, and then it just pops. That's quite interesting. All right, well, let me back test that. Let me try that. Okay, all right, yeah, okay. After 11 a.m., if I've not entered by 11 a.m., it seems to lose all. Okay, well, let's try putting that. And that's where you've got to figure out. There's, in terms of the IB, there may be a better way of doing it than I do it than Zinc, or than Zinc does it. In terms of the IB, maybe the IB 30. Maybe that's a way. But you got to go and back test. You got to go and try it for yourself. You gotta make it your own. Boys, you will never ever stick to it long term, and you will be one of these traders who jumps from one strategy to another. Yeah. And I can speak with conviction on this because I've done it. Yeah. Many times. 100%. You've got to make it your own, and when you have the data behind it, I think honestly, the data for me was my missing piece of the puzzle. And I would say it's only in the past year that I've used edgeful data really well. Like I've had edgeful for years, that I've had it for years, like since the near the very start. Yeah. But it's only in the past year or so where I've properly used to lean on in terms of give me conviction to my entries and stuff and everything. So and again, it's a very difficult thing that I'm actually trying to work through now of how do we get that light bulb moment within month one? Not in day one, because we're never going to get it in day one. Not in week one, because you're not going to see enough. You're not going to see the setups play out enough. But within the first 30 days, within the first 20 trading days, how do I get someone to get to that light bulb moment of, okay, I'm going to use this and this. And the difficult part is everyone has a different style. Some people, they want to hold trades for longer. Their stops are wider. So personalization is an option, right? You really personalize it to the person, but there are other challenges there, right? The ultimate reversal setup is something I talk about all the time, right? Gap up, bullish outside day, price opens above midnight open. The draw is to the downside to touch those three levels. But the issue is that hasn't set up once in the last month. What do you do if that's your style? What do you do? What are you going to do? Not take a trade for a month? That's not realistic either. You know what I mean? So yes, you can use just the outside days. You can use just the gap fill. You can use just the midnight open, and you can kind of make it your own. The difficult piece is how do we get someone to build their own DNA for their trading? If you're on year one, you're going to have to try some different things. If you're on year 3, you're on year 5, you've probably experimented with a few things. You probably know what you kind of like, what you don't like, but it's a lot more difficult for us to get, obviously we don't want the light bulb moment to happen 3 months in. We want that to happen of okay, I get it. Like you said, edgeful was the missing piece.
right? Like to your trading. Those are your words, not mine. That's the difficult part of like getting you to that point where you're like, okay, I understand the draws. I understand I'm willing to do the backtesting. I'm willing to dive into the data. I'm willing to do all these things. And then therefore, it will then have the impact that I'm looking for. And I can trust the data. I can have this inner peace, like you mentioned before, of like, price should move in this direction. Now, if there's a headline, if there's a catalyst, it's obviously all the data goes out the window, but that's part of the deal. That's part of trading. So for us, like as traders, to understand what is the direction I'm looking for and why am I looking for it? Like if you can't explain the trade that you're taking to someone else, to another trader, and then being like, what? Like you probably don't want to be taking that trade realistically, or at least consistently. So
yeah,
being able to even answer to yourself and like hold yourself accountable for like, yeah, I take these trades because of this, and this, and like it makes taking the losses so much easier too. So
yeah. It's difficult though, because I think for people you can use the edgeful data, but it's the traders have to really put the work in as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To find that, like, yeah.
But I know it's 11 o'clock now. We usually wrap at 11, but it's 11:07, but we can wrap this up here. I'm hoping we get a bounce.
Yep.
But
yeah, if this closes below VWAP, I'll cut it for a small loss and just take the small loss and just because I'll be green on the week regardless.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing.
Good.
The main thing is try and finish the day green. If you can't finish the day green, finish the week green. If you can't finish the week green, finish the month green.
There you go. All right. Well, it was great to have you on today. This was awesome.
Cheers, mate.
I can
Appreciate
see
the
that
invite as always.
Yeah, I can see the chat. I don't know if you have the chat open, but the chat really likes it too. So
I'm not very good at looking at the chat, so I need to get
No,
that.
it's fine. All right, I'm going to end the stream here, guys. Have a good one.
Cheers.